I'm Amos Rodriguez here at Occupy Wall Street to see the many reasons why people chose to come here and protest. Explain to us why you are here.
Well, I'm here because I know that there's injustices happening like in New York City and all over the world. And I'm here to show my support and to show people that it's okay to come here.
There's not really any other options. Like, the political process clearly doesn't work.
At least for me, I'm here because of the huge economic injustices in this country and the huge economic inequalities, as well as, from my sign, you can see the gender inequalities in this country and the way the economic inequalities unequally affect women.
People don't know that the government does not have their best interest in mind, and it hasn't for a long time. And every morning you wake up and you may believe otherwise, and that's what they want you to believe.
I'm here because I'm really troubled by the fact that we live in a society that has complete disregard for the real needs of human beings. And there's a small sector of the population that's in total control right now. They've militarized the whole world. They're killing, supposedly in our name, supposedly to defend us against who knows what. But really what they're doing is they're just conquering other lands and other peoples in the name of profit.
What inspired you to be part of this movement?
Because, like I said, there were injustices happening, and I am a student, and they were raising my student loans up, and it became like impossible for me to pay it off. And unfortunately, I had to drop out of school because it was getting too expensive for me.
Love and compassion for the people around me.
I was done playing make-believe. I was done waking up every day and just ignoring and being silent about the fact that there are just huge inequalities going on in this country. And so now that there was a call to action, I was like, all right, let's get in on that. I can jump on board.
I mean, I was never naive, but I think it's more than clear at this point that Mayor Bloomberg made $1.6 billion in the past 6 months. That's $7.7 million a day. That's more than I'll ever see. But did he work harder than me?
Do you think the meaning of this movement has been tampered with? People do it just to be a part of the crowd, selling things, and the proceeds aren't even going to Occupy Wall Street. How do you feel about that?
Well, to be honest with you, I'm not going to lie. There are a lot of people here, not for their political views, just because there's free food, or there was free food and free clothing and everything. Now it's different because the cops just took it away. But you are going to find some people here because the cops brought them here because they were homeless, they had no other places to go, and they thought it would be a cool place to be. But you know what? As long as their views change and they become for the cause, then I see no reason, to just throw them to the side and say you don't belong here. Everyone's welcome.
As far as people profiting off it, I think it's unfortunate, but they're just they're doing what Wall Street taught them how to do. I'm just glad people are talking about something other than American Idol.
I mean, I think it's pretty lame. I suppose that a lot of the people you see selling those t-shirts they made, they're not doing that well financially, and I suppose in that way, maybe Occupy, maybe we can be happy to help them get a little extra money in their pocket. But I think when I see people buying them, I just want to be like, no, go to Liberty Park, throw in a couple bucks and get one made for you on site at the screen printing site.
Yeah, because now you can find t-shirts all the way up at least at Union Square.
I think the only people that are tarnishing the image of Wall Street is probably the media and the politicians who dismiss us or who otherwise don't make any comments about, the millions of people that are dissenting against them.
What do you see in the future of Occupy Wall Street?
What I see in the future is things getting a lot worse before they can get better. But I see that the conditions that we're suffering are causing people to really wake up and understand the power forces that have been always controlling our lives.
I want things to change. I want our student loans to go back down. I want people to stop taking away the music from the education, to take the film, and they're taking away all these different awesome curricular activities, and they're not giving the future generation a chance to express themselves.
At the end of the road, what do you see?
What do I see? I don't know. I hope that we don't just get a couple legislative concessions and return back to the way it was, because the way it was still pretty crappy for most people.
How long have you been here?
Well, I've been in Sakati Park 2 weeks after it started, off and on, since then.
Okay, so you sleep here and stuff?
Well, I've never slept here, but I've stayed overnight a couple times. and I didn't have a tent for me to sleep. I had friends of mine that would allow me to sleep.
I've been here off and on since like the first weekend. I'm like homeless between here and Albany, so like I've been at the occupation there and here. I just got here today, a few hours ago.
Since the 4th day, which I guess was like September 21st? September 21st?
On and off since then. We live nearby.
Pretty much since the first week of the occupation.
On and off, or do you just stay here?
No, I work. I have a child, so I'm here about 15 to 20 hours a week, after work on the weekends.
What I learned here at Occupy Wall Street is that the media doesn't portray it to what it's supposed to be. These are real people with real dilemmas. They're not just blind protesters. They're here for a cause. This is Amos Rodgriguez from Occupy Wall Street.